Duterte, during the National Assembly of the PDP Laban in Pampanga on July 17, guaranteed that he would use his last year in office in stopping corruption. In his July 6 meeting with the executives of his ruling party, the Partido Demokratiko Pilipinas, Lakas ng Bayan, and other government officials, Duterte also reassured the public that he is doing his very best to eradicate corruption in government under his watch. Duterte, however, admitted that addressing corruption is not an easy task.
Sabi ko na hindi ko kaya itong corruption. Kasi maskin saang if there's a table, if there's a single chair there, meron talaga yan. As the papers go back and forth inward, that is why nawalaan ako ng tiwala sa bureaucracy.
I have been trying really my very best to curb corruption. Hindi ko maaalis yan overnight. But I have made a little progress in terminating, dismissing individuals. I cannot abolish offices, but I can dismiss employees for their malfeasance, he said. As part of his commitment to stop corruption, Duterte vowed to impose less rules to ease the plight of Filipinos transacting with the government. This, as he acknowledged that excessive regulations opened the door for corruption. Alleged corruption in the procurement of COVID-19 supplies implicates a former aide and close ally of the president. It all started with the release of reports by the Commission on Audit regarding the low utilization of pandemic aid by the DOH. Legislators cited the COA reports to flag the questionable expenses of the government. During a Senate hearing, it was revealed that the official in charge of the dubious procurement previously worked under the office of Senator Go when he was the special assistant to Duterte. He belittled the work of COA and defended the integrity of his cabinet members, especially Duque. He also dismissed the ongoing Senate investigation and advised the public not to believe the posturing of some legislators. He even used old COA reports to flag fund misuses of the previous government. Duterte is aware of the political impact of the corruption probe. He is constantly ridiculing COA, the Senate, and the political opposition. He knows that a corruption case involving billions of pesos has the potential to spark widespread discontent that could lead to his ouster, similar to what happened to former President Joseph Estrada when he was deposed by a people power uprising in 2001. Meanwhile, the opposition has found a smoking gun that they can use to their advantage to demand accountability and defeat the electoral plans of Duterte and his family. Whistleblower accuses PhilHealth execs of stealing 15 billion through fraud schemes. Manila, Philippines' former Philippine Health Insurance Corp anti-fraud legal officer Thorson Kate on Tuesday alleged that executives of the state-run agency have stolen 15 billion pesos from its funds. What we found at PhilHealth is the crime of the year due to the syndication of the distribution of cash advance, the interim reimbursement mechanism, and the repeated overpricing of purchased IT equipment, Kate told the Senate in Filipino. According to Kate, the agency made unwarranted claims payments to select private hospitals amounting to hundreds of millions of pesos. The anti-fraud legal officer's resignation, which cited widespread corruption within the agency, prompted the Senate, the House of Representatives, and Malacanang to launch its own investigations into the matter. Pinglacson alleged that the agency's interim reimbursement mechanism, which is meant for healthcare institutions hit by calamitous or fortuitous events, was not being released to the appropriate hospitals. According to the senator, PhilHealth released hundreds of millions to dialysis centers and maternity care providers but could not release 19 million pesos to the Hospital ng Maynila, which was accepting COVID-19 cases. Meanwhile, he flagged that the agency released 45 million in funds to Brown Aviton Philippines, a company of dialysis centers. PhilHealth President and CEO Ricardo Morales defended this by saying that the company was turning away patients due to a lack of funds. PhilHealth Board member Alejandro Cabanding also accused Morales of pushing for the endorsement of overpriced information technology budget items, which is his amount of least 750 million pesos. There were numbers in the IT budget and financial reports that do not add up. According to Morales, a robust information management system will aid in weeding out fraud with the agency. 1 billion it program over 3 years is paltry compared to the tens of billions of pesos lost to fraud every year, he said. Duterte approves corruption charges versus PhilHealth officials. Duterte has approved the filing of criminal charges against top officials of the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation for corruption. In a late-night televised address on Monday, the president said a task force he had ordered to investigate the state insurance company recommended charges against PhilHealth President Ricardo C. The totality of the evidence presented before the task force supports the honorable conclusion that wrongful acts or omissions on part of certain key corporate officers of PhilHealth have been committed. Mr. Duterte said, while reading the task force report, "I am sorry for them, but they would have to undergo trial," he added. Duterte had approved the recommendations of the body. The charges will include graft and corruption, malversation of public funds and property, and tax-related violations. Investigators also sought administrative charges against officials for dishonesty, gross neglect of duty and misconduct, falsification of public documents, disloyalty, inefficiency, and incompetence. Senate Committee of the Whole early sought graft and malversation charges against Health Secretary and PhilHealth Chairman Francisco Duque III. The Senate body found gross overpricing of equipment both by the PhilHealth and favoritism in the release of the so-called interim reimbursement mechanism funds. Former PhilHealth anti-fraud legal officer Thorson Kate earlier told senators at a hearing the agency's top officials had pocketed 15 billion through fraudulent programs.